a emergency perceived by the public. But I think in those situations it was clearly justified. We talk about how difficult the decisions are that judges have to make, that I as a prosecutor have to make, and we do make some weighty decisions. But the law enforcement officers who had to respond to Boston, had to respond to these mass shootings, they make very difficult decisions, and they have to do it in a millisecond, or it could cost them their lives and the lives of many others. So I do have great appreciation for the work that they do, and I try to consider that. For example, and as Judge Kirkman mentioned, driving while impaired cases. There are cases where someone is pulled over for driving while impaired and they turn out not to be legally drunk, but are acting as though they're impaired. As long as you get them off the road, we'll let the court sort it out after that. You've saved many lives just by getting them off the street. Thank you.
Okay, now we're moving to closing argument, or closing statements, I should say. This is not a court. So, watching too much TV or something. Okay, closing statements. In the order will be Boone, Cromer, Southern, Kirkman, Langen, and Key. So beginning with Boone, 2 minutes.
Thank you. As I indicated earlier, I practiced law for 30 years. I covered all of the different areas of law during that 30-year practice. I am a resident of Mount Airy. And my practice of law was all 30 years was in, or 31 years was in Surrey County in Dodson. My office was there 4 years. I've had the greatest during the past year. It's been just the greatest thing. I've got to work with some fantastic folks in our elected offices, officers, attorneys, members of the community. It's been such an honor. I want to continue to serve. I believe that you're supposed to serve. You're supposed to produce something while you're here on this earth, not just consume. And I want to continue to serve. I think that I live in the greatest area in the entire state, in the entire country. I'm in the greatest country in the entire world. And I'm proud to be serving as a member of the judiciary. I'm proud to be sitting up here with these folks who I've had the honor of working with the exception of maybe one. I've been here longer than anybody. I'm looking at Judge Cromer now. So it's been an honor that I hope that I continue to be able to do, and I'm open always. I hope I'm always accessible to everyone. Thank you.
Cromer.
I appreciate the introductions, being the old guy. But I'm not that old. I have appreciated the opportunity of serving all of you. I even served you back in the House of Representatives for a very short period of time back in the 90s, at which time we enacted the laws, the structured sentencing that we abide by now. So I kind of knew those before I even got on the bench. But I am probably the only person up here who's had to sentence somebody to death. And that was a moment that none of us would look forward to, but we have to do. Whether you believe in the death penalty or you don't believe in the death penalty. I took an oath to follow the Constitution, to follow the laws of North Carolina. And I've done that. I've had over 600 cases that have been tried in front of a jury. And guess what? When you're the judge, you can say this. I haven't lost a single one of them. All right? And the Court of Appeals has been reviewing my decisions since 2002. And I have, I think, if you'll ask them and my colleagues, a pretty good record at the appellate level. I write many of my opinions, and some of my colleagues say, you don't have to do that. People need to know the reasons for my decisions. So I ask you to let me finish the work that I began in 2002. Let me continue to serve you for the next 8 years. I intend to make you proud of me as your judge, because I have 4 kids, 3 grandkids that look up to me every day. Thank you very much.
Southern.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bill Southern, and I'm running for judge this year and asking for your support, your prayers, and your vote. As we look out across this crowd, I think I know a vast majority of you, and if I don't know you yet, I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to continuing to work for you, continuing to work for this court system I am passionate about and that I've spent my career trying to improve with your help. I'm proud of the work that we've done, and I'm looking forward to the future and continuing to do this good work as a conservative, as a constitutional conservative, and as a member of our community who cares very passionately about this court system. Issues like the opioid crisis that continue to affect us. I look forward to working as a member of the Surrey County Opioid Task Force for that, continuing to work on courthouse security issues as we've done over the last year, continuing to work to make sure when you come into that courthouse, you can have your case heard fairly and impartially and without distraction. That's my commitment to you. That's my commitment to you as a district court judge, and it will be my commitment to you as a superior court judge to apply the law as it's written. Nothing more, nothing less, based on the cases that you bring in front of me. I ask for your support, your prayers, and your vote this year. I ask for you to help us spread the word about how important not only my race is, but all of our critical judicial races are across the state of North Carolina this year. I don't want to miss the opportunity to remind you that we have Supreme Court justice on the ballot. We also have Court of Appeals judges on the ballots. And folks, I know we're at the bottom of the ballot. It can get confusing. But not only do I ask for your vote in my race, I ask for your vote in those other races as well. I'm glad to talk to you about those races after this. I know we're short on time now, but I will continue to advocate about how important those races are as well. And I ask for your support to help remind community members about those as well. Thank you again for your help.
Kirkman.
I'm Judge Gretchen Kirkman. One of the questions that wasn't asked is, what kind of job are you doing as a judge? And I'm doing an amazing job as a judge. If you do not elect me in November to continue to keep me as a judge, then what you have gotten rid of is a judge that is protecting the public and protecting children. I told you guys that I'm from here. But what I didn't tell you is, why did I move back? I moved back because this is where I wanted to raise my kids. Lily Kirkman, Rose Kirkman, period. Whenever I moved back here, our biggest issue was marijuana. It was 2 years ago, at the end of our driveway, someone had thrown syringes, left them at the end of our driveway. That was one of the main reasons that I wanted to become a judge as early as I did. The other one was the issues in court. They were crazy, the continuances. What was happening with regard to the children in custody with nothing being heard? Whenever I came in and I became a judge, ask anybody who works there, 8 to 5. You're looking at a great judge, period. I am always there. I listen to the kids. I protect the kids. A big issue, and you would be surprised, just come to court one day to watch me. Come there. But what you're going to be surprised of is people who come into court high. And they're not just high and laid back. They're high and fidgeting and moving in ways that I've never seen before. And physically, it makes me move. It's a new way that I know that someone's high on meth, is because I'm physically moving when they're moving. It's horrible, and it's a problem that we have in the community. I know Judge Cromer talked about the first time that he sent someone to death, or he had to make that decision. I'm going to be honest, I've sent a lot of people to jail. I apply the law.
Time.
Okay.
Langen.
My fellow Republicans, I will just reiterate that I have been a registered Republican my entire life, since 1991. I was active in conservative causes at Duke University, a very liberal university, and stood virtually alone to fight the forces of political correctness at that time. And I was involved with the Federalist Society while I was in law school at Wake Forest. I volunteered for Jesse Helms in his last campaign for the United States Senate in 1996. And shortly thereafter, I came to Surrey County, became an assistant district attorney, and I've made that my career calling. and I'm very proud of that. I'm the only candidate in this race with a 18-year history of fighting crime, supporting law enforcement, and standing up in court on behalf of the victims of crimes, children who are victims of sex abuse, spouses who are victims of domestic violence, communities that are ravaged by drugs, and the innocent victims of drunk and impaired drivers. I have a proven record on that. If you want a candidate who shares your conservative values, then I am the candidate for you. If you want a candidate who has a proven record for public service, I am the candidate for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here tonight. I really appreciate that. I want to thank my mom for being here. She's not been well, and she means everything to me, and she made me who I am. Thank you, Mom. And my fiance who's here, and my cousin who's right in front of them. My family here. So, what I want to say is that I love being a district court judge. It was hard, even though I've been a prosecutor for 6 years before that, learning this job. And I think that I know that I try to do the best, and I pray for every day that guidance to do the best that I can do. But what I love about it, it's not easy. It's very difficult. It's not fun always. It sticks with you, and they're sad cases. It makes you sad. It's not a powerful position. They limit what you can do. It's not that we have a lot of power, but that's okay. What I love about it is I'm able to help people on both sides. Help criminal defendants get mental health, substance abuse treatment, education, learn behavioral skills to keep them out of court. Let them get back to society by community service. Help victims get restitution, people get peace of mind, or justice, right or wrong. I help parents get needed child support. I help juveniles get on the right track, go to school, get counseling, therapy, and get skills they need as they grow up. I help parents get the tools they need for their children, employment, transportation, housing, parenting classes. Of course, we're limited in rural counties, but we try our best to get these people on the right track. Help divorce couples resolve marital disputes over children and property and spousal support. I'm willing to listen and stay. I mean, anyone can tell you I stay in court, and I will listen to court. I'll stay there as long as needed. I've spent a lot of hours in the courtroom. Most importantly, as I said the last time I ran for this office, children are the very most important thing. Our focus should be on children. District court judges deal with children 16 and younger. We're going up to 18 next year. Juveniles are going to be 18, so that's going to be even a bigger responsibility. It's a process. I just love this. I think I'm empathetic, my temperament's good, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Okay, thank you candidates for being here tonight. Okay, let me just real quickly, for Superior Court Judge, District 17B, we have Bill Southern and Andy Cromer running. District Court Judge, District 17B, seat 3 is Spencer Key. District Court Judge, District Judge 17B, seat 2 is Marion Boone. And then in District Court Judge, District 17B, seat 1 is Tom Langen and Gretchen Kirkman. Okay, and thank you again for being here with us tonight.